Hello and welcome back to our Spearman playthrough, and we're going to be obviously joining the Vlandians in just a second, but I did just receive a task from the people in the nearby village to eliminate this bandit hideout, and I thought, well, why not? You know, now that we have a shield, it should be a little easier than it was last time. So let's tell our infantry just to charge straight on in here. And also bear in mind that, yes, I will be attempting to level up a bunch of spearmen or pikemen as time goes on, but I would like my forces to primarily be, shall we say, somewhat proficient at dealing with most enemy unit types at the moment, and then we will attempt to diversify what we currently have. So, for example, the Vlandian sharpshooters, of course, as well. We're going to add a whole bunch of those to our army composition as time goes on. So don't worry about that. Everything's going to work out just fine. We just have to be a little bit patient about those kinds of things, because it does take a bit of time to level those guys up and to obviously get an army that is capable of, well, doing anything relatively efficiently. So should be pretty good. Should be pretty good to see that. And it seems like most of the bandit hideouts in this area are relatively similar, even though we're dealing with mountain bandits in this particular engagement in comparison to sea raiders. So that's kind of interesting. Otherwise, I think I can probably zoom up. There we go. Nice little zoom. And we can maybe get another zoom going on. And I think there's one more enemy over here. Yes, there is. Oh, never mind. I didn't even need to do anything. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so I think I'll probably go for the duel here, because generally killing the bandit boss does give us quite a lot of experience, I think. Doesn't it give us a good amount of proficiency or something like that? Well, whatever the case, I will say very well. Let us do this. Bear in mind that I will probably be able to beat him because he doesn't seem to want to block. That is his only issue. Oh, he's blocking a little bit more this time, but last time we fought him I had much lower proficiency and he didn't want to block then, so it's kind of weird. There we go. Nice. And a decent amount of one-handed proficiency, not too bad, and we have won the battle. Fantastic. Alright, so 13 renown. We gain a pretty suitable amount of, well, loot, I guess. And do these peasants actually level up? Yes, they do. Okay, that's fantastic. I was actually wondering whether they do that, because they in a previous version they used to not level up into anything, and they would just basically stay as peasants. So it's very nice that they've changed that. I mean, I think they changed that a while ago, but you know how it is. Sometimes I forget these things. Anyway, let's go over to the nearby villages. I am going to continue trying to recruit as many people as I can. There's only one person here? What? Only one leader of the village? That's kind of weird, right? Oh, well, never mind. I guess that's just how it is. And, aha, hello there. Okay, I'm going to have to let some of these people go, because we are now maxed out. I now have 79. Very good indeed. Alright, so let me sell everything that I have here. 700. I would like to make a couple more two-handed weapons. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to uninstall... Yes, I did. Okay, I forgot to uninstall the the Smith Forever mod, because I think that might be the reason, but obviously don't quote me on that, because maybe I'm wrong about it. But anyway, let's just create a couple more pieces of charcoal, and we're just going to try and craft as many of these things as we can. The highest level things, shall we say. Maybe I won't even be able to do that, to be honest, because I'm going to need more of this. So let's just do more of this. I would like to get to 75 smithing. That is the main thing I'm looking for right now. And do I have another grip? Yes, I do. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. Let's make this a little bit larger to increase the difficulty. And do we have anything here? No, we have nothing there. All right, so let's just create something. Oh, look at that. Wow, what a... You know, that's what happens when you place your hands in the wrong place when you're trying to type. Yeah, that's fantastic. Should I just call it that? I should really just call it that, but, you know, whatever the case. Two skill points. Yes. Skill points. There we go. One? Really? Just literally... Are you serious right now? Well, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, because we don't have any other blades, which is somewhat problematic, as you can see right here. We're literally... working with a simple warsword blade, which is pretty awful, all things considered. So maybe I can make a one-handed that's better? No, I cannot make a one-handed that's better. That is actually kind of annoying. What about daggers? Yeah, I can make some daggers, but they are kind of awful in themselves. I actually wonder whether the roguery skill tree is going to gain some sort of, what should we say, dagger-ish sort of perks or something like that. That would be amazing in my opinion. I think that would be very, very fun. And unfortunately, it seems as though I won't be able to get anything more here unless I create a huge amount of wrought iron, which is not something that I badly want to do, but I would like to get to 75, as I said. Come on now. Let's do this. Sell. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes, I used caps lock. I know. I shouldn't be doing that. Okay. Sell. Yes, sell that one too. Okay, I need literally one more. Are you serious right now? What about smelting something? Maybe smelting some things might make a difference. Maybe that will get me a little bit of skill. This is not looking good, is it? No, it's not looking good. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just sell what I have here, because there's a reason why I'm doing this, by the way. Oh yeah, these things are absolutely awful to sell, as you can quite clearly tell. So we're just going to sell all of that. Yeah, but there is a reason why I'm doing this. I'd like to get a caravan. Yeah, I would like to get a caravan. So I'm going to ask this guy, and I'm going to say, I wish to form a caravan this time. I'm going to pay 15,000. Dashwal can do the thing. We do have a decent amount of medicine skill ourselves, don't we? Yeah, 33 is okay. I don't think it's great, but I think it's all right. We're also going to be increasing our trade skill, and we're going to be spending our perks too. So let's have a look here. Meaningful favors, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. I personally don't think you want to go for anything else. So I'm going to go for that. And increases the rate of learning new part designs when smelting by 100%. And you can refine... Okay, yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing this one, because, as I said before, I don't have Chaos's Tweaks installed. There is someone in the comments that said that they are using Chaos's Tweaks, and it's working on this version. I have not been able to get it to work, so maybe there's some conflict there, but it's good to know that at least you got it working. I did check out the posts on the download page, and a lot of people seem to say it's not working, but maybe there's something, you know, something that needs to be done that you did that is actually going to work out quite well for you. But anyway, I'm going to actually take this, which is something I never usually take. Increases your damage with polearms by 70% against mounts, and infantry troops in the formation you are leading have their damage increased with polearms by 30% against mounts. So that is going to be extremely, extremely useful. So I will be taking that, because most of our people will be on foot, of course. So that is exactly what we will do. And now that I have a caravan up and running, I should start gaining a decent amount of trade skill. Because if you've taken a look at my mod list, you'll know that I am using the mod that gives me trade experience for running caravans and things like that. And that's partially because it might be quite fun to try to get everything has a price, because I feel like that would probably give us a lot more flexibility in what we're able to do. And I thought, hey, why not? Let's try it out, eh? Let's try it out, and we might be able to gain something really, really good. Okay, so, in and out. This is something that used to be extremely, very, very lucrative, but it is now completely useless and kind of sad, to be honest. I feel like it's actually kind of sad that they nerfed it so hard into the ground, but that's just how it is. Why is the battle thing at the top of the screen telling me that there's 1 versus 0? That is a little strange, gotta say. I'm not actually looking to fight anyone. I'm just going to pay you that amount, and as you can see, there we go. We gain some skill in charm, but the main reason, obviously, that I want to do this is for the relation, of course. So we're just going to leave once again, and I just paid 200 gold for, what, 7 relation or something like that, which I think is actually not bad. I don't think that's particularly awful. I mean, it could be better, but I suppose that there is a reason for it. You know, you don't really want to be having such an easy, shall we say, an easy progression in terms of completing a task, and then you just get 100% upside, you know, because generally what it was before is you'd pay 1,000 and you'd get, like, what, 4,000, left over from the reward, so you would then have 3,000 profit, which is just way too much. Obviously, it is way too much, but I feel like maybe it could have been balanced maybe in a different way. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's just my own thinking on it. Anyway, we're going to go into the tournament here, mainly because there might be a reward here that might be nice. We're going to become a mercenary after this because most of my units have started to level up, and if we can take on some lower level vassals that we may potentially come across, then that is obviously going to make all the difference in the world. Now, let's see if I can maybe gain some skill. Ow. Ow. You know, if that guy had literally just continued attacking me with overheads, I probably would have been dead, to be honest. Yeah, this is also something that I want to be very careful of. Ooh, that was super close. Wow. The amount of damage. The amount of damage that was being done there. I hope that they give me a polearm. Oh, never mind, never mind. They gave me a one-handed. That's absolutely fine. Ooh, we've got some nice crossbowmen right here. Yeah, I really can't wait to get some Vlandian sharpshooters on my side, to be honest, because a lot of you in the comments said, "Oh, Vlandian sharpshooters, they're fantastic. They have better crossbows than even the Imperial Sergeant crossbowmen." And I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, that's actually great. I can't wait then." Really can't wait for that. Okay, wait a minute. What was that it? Really? Oh, okay. I was thinking that I'd have to pick up someone's crossbow and maybe level up level up my crossbows a little bit. You know, that might be kind of fun. Anyway, let's see what I can do here. Wow, the amount of damage I'm able to do with a slashing polearm. Really, really enjoyable to use one, actually. So I think what I'm going to do to level up polearms initially is I'm going to use a slashing polearm, and then when I get to about 200, maybe 225, we're going to switch back to a spear bracing one. Or, actually, what I could do is I could use a sword and a shield, and then 2 different types of polearm, so I could always spear brace if I need to, and a slashing polearm. Or, I could go for a ranged weapon, and a slashing polearm, and a piercing polearm. That might actually be something cool too. So, we have a little bit of flexibility in that regard. Anyway, what did I actually gain? Oh yeah, the footman's padded coat. Yes, it is not particularly good. Let's just say that. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing else here. Okay, so I guess the best thing that we can do now is just check with these villages, see if there's another bandit hideout quest, because they give so many rewards, basically. They give so many rewards that it really is one of the best ways to, well, get money, get experience, and to level up your own character too, because you're able to do battle with a number of, you know, various enemies and everything, and it really makes a huge difference. Okay, there we go. Let's go in. Why do I have Vlandian Sergeants, by the way? They shouldn't be leveling up into Vlandian Sergeants. They should be leveling up into Vougiers, but maybe there needs to be something done about that. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, wait a minute. That might be the contingent of units that I mistakenly leveled up into infantry before I realized and then changed it. That could possibly be the result of that. But yes, anyway, I should be able to achieve victory versus these fellows. I will try for a flawless victory, and I will try not to get hit. Shall we try for that? That might be a little bit of a fun thing to do. I have almost 75 in athletics. That's pretty good. I also have almost 150 in one-handed. I'd like to be able to get that if at all possible. I think I probably need to get a better shield. At least I think so. My shield at the moment feels relatively small, and it is a little bit difficult to, well, kind of rely on that to protect me against the wide variety of arrows that are going to be coming my way very, very soon if we are going to become a mercenary, which I believe we should. I think it is going to... Ow! Did you see how much damage that... Wow, okay, I got shot in the neck. That really hurts. Okay. How dare you, sir? Well, wow, he got murdered. He got absolutely murdered. Let's just speed things up real quick. They can deal with the last remaining units. And then we will fight... Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty low in HP right now. Do I want to fight in a duel against this guy, or do I just want to let my forces deal with it? I think I'll probably let my forces deal with it this time around, even though I don't really like doing that, because I think it's much more fun to do the duel. But as it stands, I think I would probably be a little bit too close to dying right here. And I don't really want to go through the whole, you know, the whole bandit hideout attack again. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. Ooh, huge amounts of stuff. What? Look at that. We have so much stuff right here. Okay, let's just order by value. Seems like there's not really much here. I was about to leave without taking the loot once again, but there you go. And we gain massive amounts of charm skills, you can see. We gain some relation, of course, which is exactly what we want. And there's also a looter party nearby, so I'd like to be able to fight them if at all possible. And let's do it. I actually have a mod called, what is it called again? Surrender Tweak, I believe it's called. Yes, Surrender Tweak. And I don't believe it's working correctly. At least that is not what it seems like, at least. Because what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to give me an idea as to how much of a chance enemy parties have of surrendering, basically. So whenever you access your combat strength display, so for example, when you get into an engagement with a bandit party or something like that, and you see the combat strength at the top of the screen, it should say in some font or another whether there is a very high chance for them to surrender or not, and so on. And that is generally what I actually wanted it to do, but apparently it's not working for me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But, oh well, never mind. It's not that big a deal, I suppose. Anyway, I would like to find a vassal so that I can speak to them. Hello there. Ooh, hello. Yeah, you're a very bad person. Okay. Yes. Let's. I wish to enter the service. My source? No, my source is not yours because my source is a secret recipe. Thank you. But yes, my sword is yours for the right sum. 130. Sure. Okay. Alright, let's see how it goes, eh? Okay, we're against... Who's that? Sturgia. Okay, we're against Sturgia, and you... Wow, this is actually a super cool readout here. Is this the diplomacy mod? Because I did update the diplomacy mod. This looks really fun, actually. Look at this. It actually tells you the exact date that the war started. It also tells you the war exhaustion and huge amounts of other pieces of information. Really, really useful, actually. Alright, let's go into the trade screen right here. I might like to buy a couple of extra horses. Maybe some extra saddle horses or something like that. Yeah, some more. I'd like to speed our forces up if at all possible. Okay. I guess that's looking pretty good. And we'll sell the other things there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pay 3,200. That's alright. And the task is basically pointless, but we do have some prisoners, so I might as well sell that. And then let's move on. Alright, so we are at war against the Sturgians. So, let's head on over there and see if we can do some damage to some of them. Alright, so I seem to have a pretty decent opportunity here. Now, this is very risky for me because, one, I actually passed by an extremely strong army. I believe they had just defeated one of the Vlandians' large armies as well, so we might need to be a little bit careful about that, but otherwise we have leveled up, so it would probably be a good idea for me to level something else up. So what do we want to level? Well, there's a wide variety of different things that I'd like to level. I'd like to level leadership, I'd like to level tactics, I'd like to level smithing, I'd like to level medicine, and trade. I'd love to level all of these things, but unfortunately I don't have the luxury of being able to select multiple, so I will actually just be going for trade here, I believe. We also have 3 perks to be able to spend in trade. So let's have a look here. 15% decrease in sell price penalty for equipment. That is what we will do because that is what we usually sell. Otherwise, party could carry 30% more weight, or your shops have 20% less upkeep. That sounds pretty fun to me. I am going to be attempting to invest in a bunch of businesses as well, because I do have that mod that increases the income from workshops. So hopefully that's going to make a bit of a difference. Anyway, your caravans gather trade rumors and a 15% decrease in buy price penalty from villages, or your workshops gather trade rumors and a 15% decrease in sell price penalty for animals. I don't really care either way, but I think caravans gathering trade rumors is a little bit more effective, even though I'm not really going to be utilizing trade rumors at all. Not most of the time, at least. Anyway, 5% movement speed bonus during nighttime, in my opinion, is fantastic and is always the thing I will take. Otherwise, 75 athletics. Let's have a look here. Slightly increases your persuasion chance. Sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah. Slightly increases your persuasion chance. I mean, really, how can I say no? How can I say no to doing that? Anyway, we're going to attempt to attack this fellow. As you can see, he has primarily quite a few Sturgian recruits. Let's hope that there aren't any other enemies nearby that could potentially help him. This is my current army composition. As you can see, I have a lot of very low tier units. I do have some relatively high tier ones as well, but this is going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those battles where it is very much touch and go, and I am going to have to try my very best to achieve victory. So let's try. Let's try and see what happens. I am a little bit worried about this, to be honest, but I'm going to stay on my mount for the most part. We're going to utilize our cavalry in hopefully the best possible way we can. And the enemy, I believe, doesn't have any cavalry at all, which is obviously going to make a huge difference to our advantage. But bear in mind that as soon as our cavalry get eliminated, we are going to lose a huge chunk of combat strength. And that is going to be the main reason why we should be very, very careful with them. And we should make sure that we are assisting them as much as possible and taking note of where they are and what they're doing and so on. So let's see what we can do. Let's move our archers a little bit forward as well. My guys are in shield wall formation, as they should be. And we're going to attempt to do some damage now. Or not, as the case may be. Let's just try and kill their archers, I guess. 101 damage was not enough to kill that guy. Yes. You know, sometimes I think that the thrusting attacks of polearms should have a crushing effect against shields. I know that might seem a little bit too powerful to some, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, you know, because if you think, well, we're traveling at such a fast speed on the back of a horse, it kind of makes sense that you're going to do much more damage to an opponent than they would do to you if, you know, they had a shield up and they're using a one-handed or something, but that is obviously not how it works at the moment, so that's obviously something to bear in mind. But it is definitely something that I think should maybe be looked at. I mean, I'm not saying that it needs to crush through every single time, but generally shields that are wielded by tier 1, 2, maybe even tier 3 units would be, well, I think pretty flimsy. They would be pretty flimsy in comparison to some of the shields that you'd see on higher tier troops. Can we at least eliminate someone, please? Seems like I am absolutely terrible with these thrusting polearms at the moment. I'd love to get something a little better. We're doing good damage, but it's not killing anyone, which is actually amazing. Okay, there we go. That was a little better. Can we get to 150? That's the question. Almost. 149. Oh, there's one. Get him. Oh, there's actually a couple. 100. Okay. What is with this? 130 damage, and yet I am unable to kill him in one hit. Really? Okay, well, at least I have polearms at 151 right now, so that's actually not too bad. But still, I hit that guy for 130, and still he did not die. I am skeptical. I am very skeptical about that. I'm not entirely sure why he was able to survive. That is kind of crazy. But, oh well, never mind. I believe that is indeed a victory for us. And we lost... What? We literally lost no one? We lost one person. How is that? Okay, well, I guess. Okay, fine. If you take a look at their composition, you can see exactly why that happened. They have so many recruits, and we just have slightly better lower tier units, if you see what I mean, because I barely have any recruits. I have 7, and this person literally had like what, 20 or something, so it really made a huge difference, I suppose. Anyway, we gained a huge amount of renown, influence, and all that stuff, and I'm gonna be taking them... Should I take them prisoner? We have that same dilemma on our hands once again, because I'm thinking to myself, if I let them go, who are we going to appease here? This is Vilder. Yeah, I might be able to persuade this guy to join us, you see. I might be able to persuade this guy to join us, even with the limited charm skill I have at the moment and the limited amount of money as well. I might be able to. If he is a friend of ours, I might be able to make that happen. And if that happens, I'm going to be able to persuade Varcheg and Zemyan Castle to come over with him, if we are still at war against the Sturgians at that point. So I'm going to let them go. We're going to think about the bigger picture here in comparison to thinking about the short-term impact of how much money they're actually going to give me in ransom. At least that's my thinking on it. Maybe your thinking on it is a little bit different, but by all means, let me know your thinking on it if you have a better idea. Because for me, specifically, I personally feel like I don't know, thinking of the grand, well, I could say strategy, I guess. I mean, if you can call it a strategy, but yeah, I'm thinking of the strategy involved in getting as many people on your side as possible, getting as many friends as possible, and if you have friends, you're going to be able to outnumber the opponent more easily than you'd expect. And if I have everything has a price at that point, which is obviously, you know, kind of, well, that's very unknown at this point. I obviously have no idea whether I'm going to have everything as a price at any point, but I mean, you can see I need 300. I literally need 300 skill points in trade to be able to make it there. So it might not even happen. But if I do, and I'm still able to combine that with a huge amount of charm skill at the same time, and I'm also proficient in polearms and one-handed and tactics and athletics and so on and so forth, then I should very easily be able to dominate the battlefield in a variety of different ways. And I don't need to only rely on combat, I don't need to only rely on charm, I don't need to only rely on, you know, X thing, whatever it may be. Anyway, your infantry suffer 10% less damage by ranged troops. That actually seems pretty good. However, I much prefer this. Your infantrymen deal 10% more damage to cavalry in simulations, which is, of course, what we want them to do, because our troops receive 25% less morale penalty from casualties when using shield wall and various other formations, which is, of course, what we are going to be using. So I'm going to take that. We also got to 150 in polearms. When you hit an enemy in the head with a polearm, you deal 50% more damage. That actually seems pretty cool. But what is the other one? Your couch lance. Okay. Nope. Going to be taking the other one. And experience gain of garrison cavalry in governed settlements is increased by 20%. Personally, I don't care for this one bit. The secondary effect is negligible, to say the least, but the primary effect, in my opinion, is very good. Because if you think about it, if you do, I don't know, if you do 50 damage, you're going to do 75 damage instead. So that's pretty good. If you hit them in the head, that is. Anyway, I'm going to see what the composition is of Siga. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, she's got to be... She's being very, very careful here. Bear in mind, we did outnumber the previous opponent, so we have to be a little bit cautious about what we do here. Let's take a look at her composition. Yeah, so as you can see, she has no... Oh, she does have recruits. She has 26 recruits, in fact. Okay, I had no idea about that. Right. Do you think I can win? Do you think I can win with this particular composition? Oh, I actually leveled up my clan as well. Oh. Well, I'm very far away from Vlandian territory right now, so I won't be able to do anything about that. Shall we try and fight her? I think I might be able to achieve victory. How many cavalry do I have? I have 9. That is not the best, but we might be able to make it work. Let's try it. I'm so... You know, I'm kind of chomping at the bit, you know what I mean? I'm chomping at the bit to get into these kinds of battles, because the more that we attack, the more money we're going to get from the mercenary contract. Look at how much money I'm making from the mercenary contract right now. I'm literally making 1,700. Bear that in mind. Look at that. 1,700 from that, which is insanity. It really is. Anyway, cross your fingers. Let's hope that I will be able to beat Siga. And maybe I'm going to be able to hit a couple of people in the head as well. And so I can try out my new polearm perk, and maybe that's going to make a bit of a difference to its effectiveness, because at the moment it is, well, lacking in many respects. So hopefully it's going to be a little bit better this time around. Okay, going to move my cavalry to a somewhat higher up position, because I'd like them to come in from the side if at all possible. I really need to get a new polearm, to be honest. I was hoping. No, don't run in there. I was very much hoping to get a head slash or a head thrust on one of these guys. Oh, that was nice. Hit him in the abdomen, though, which is obviously not the best. Let's start moving my infantry a little bit forward. I'm going to try and harass the enemy cavalry that is attempting to do the same with our forces. Nice. Look at that. That was a lovely headshot right there. Well, technically not a headshot, but you know what I mean. And that was a nice kill. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that quite a bit, actually. Okay, let's tell my forces to now auto-delegate. We will tell our archers to auto-delegate as well, because they are standing in a completely random position, which is probably not going to pay off very well, because they're just standing out there in the middle of nowhere. They're probably going to get themselves murdered as a result of it, but hopefully not. And... they seem to be completely left alone. That is really weird. Let's just try and see if I can do as much damage as possible. See if I can maybe hit people in the head, because I can definitely capitalize on that damage. So I will try for the overhead as much as possible. If I can actually get it to work. There we go. Oh, someone's taking out that guy at least. Really? Really? What is going on there? Come on now. That is the most pitiful display of attacking I have ever seen. Oh well, never mind. Okay, let's tell my forces to charge in now, because it seems like the enemy only has a bunch of archers remaining, so it should be relatively simple to eliminate the rest of them. And hopefully I'll be able to get a couple more headshots as well, or head thrusts, shall we say. Not too bad. And there we have it. Not too bad. Okay, we were actually able to win. And we did take a couple of casualties this time. We did lose a couple of our Vosgiers, which is to be expected, of course. Sometimes we're just going to lose units. And we gained 65 renown for that, and a whole bunch of influence as well. Let's take a look and see where she's from. Okay, so she's from Olek's clan. Now, this is perfectly fine as well. Now, the reason why I'm checking for the clan leader here is because if someone is a part of the leader, or should we say the prince himself, Mr. Ragandvad, you know, if they are part of his clan, then it is more than likely I am not going to be letting them go, because there is no point in me gaining relation with the ruler of a faction, because there's no diplomatic solution that I can make with him. So obviously there's no point in that. But this is definitely going to have a point, so I will let her go. We'll gain a little bit of relation right there. We're also going to be leveling up more of our troops, and we're going to be getting more prisoners as well. Unfortunately, I don't really have a huge amount of space for prisoners, so I will have to leave a couple, which is really unfortunate and quite regrettable, but it is just something that needs to be done. I just can't really do much about that. I don't really want to be limping around in enemy territory, because you can mark my words, we're probably going to get beset upon by some insanely large army, and then they're going to make us very much regret our actions. So anyway, we were able to beat 2 vassals in enemy territory, which is really nice, and we are quite close to Sionon, so I will be attempting to make my way back there. As you can see, I am very slow in the process of doing so too, so we should be a little bit aware of things. I wouldn't be surprised if the Botanians are going to declare war relatively soon too, which is definitely something we want to be very, very careful about, because if the Botanians do that, they're going to have very good archers, and we need to be very aware of that, because they are going to do so much damage. They really will. Anyway, let's take a look here. Alright, Botanian ponies, Botanian war mounts. They seem pretty fun. I'm going to buy a bunch of Botanian ponies, because I'd like to increase my speed on the world map as much as I possibly can. There we go. That seems a little bit better. Let's sell all of my armor. Let's sell all of this. And there's nothing really to sell here. I'm going to smelt all of that. And I'm actually going to get 900 gold. No, that's not too bad. Not too bad if I do say so myself. And I don't think there's anything else I really need to do here. Oh yeah, there is actually something else I want to do. But I'm going to need to smith something. So let me actually just see here. Is this the two-handed? Yeah, this is the two-handed. Okay. So let me see here. I want to create something really, really expensive. So I'm going to make a two-handed only weapon, because I think the main problem that I was having before is that I was creating a one-handed / two-handed weapon. Is that just me? Or does it just seem as though that is a bit too... doesn't really sell for as much? Is that just my perspective on that? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm going to need to refine a couple of extra things here. We're going to need to do this. I have now reached 75 smithing finally, and let's have a look. Really? That's all I can do? Wow, that is really awful, isn't it? Okay, let's literally just smelt a whole bunch of stuff. There we go. Smelt all of that, and now I have enough to be able to create my weapon. There we go. Because he didn't have weapon. Weapon. Yes, indeed. If you know that reference, then props to you. That's a very old reference. Oh yes, indeed. Old reference. There we go. This sword actually looks really cool. Unfortunately, the stats are just terrible. I mean, really. Okay, this is really not giving me much, is it? Hugs for all. There we go. Yeah, it's not giving me much skill, but hopefully it's going to be decent enough for me to sell. Yeah, it's selling for a decent amount. So there's another 9,000 right now. Now, the main reason why I'm doing this is because I'd like to get another companion. So we're going to be getting him, and then we're literally just going to be speaking to this guy and getting a caravan up and running once again. So let's get this guy to run the caravan, and he's going to hopefully not get himself killed too easily. Alright, well, there's the overview of the map so far. Nothing really much has happened, because everyone is still just starting to get their teeth sunk into each other, and hopefully we're going to be able to progress onward and attempt to take out a couple more vassals in the near future. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.